Good morning, friends. Good morning, loyal audience. Gotta talk to you about something very important today in regards to Ukraine. What's going on now is you have some kind of investment funds, whether it's by Canada or by other investors, trying to set up trust fund or investment fund to help Ukraine on the assumption that Russia is going to start paying reparations at one point. Folks, this is a scam. This is a scheme by ravenous, insatiable, ravenous investors in New York and here and there with insatiable appetite for blood and money and guts and hurt and mean. What they're trying to do is probably pay like $1 billion now or something of the sort, and then they capitalize on that, and then eventually enough investors will put like very little money, and then they will siphon off all the reparations to be paid by Russia. I cannot emphasize more on this scam and scheme by those investors who are willing to burn a whole nation for $1, right? So word has it that there's $1 billion guaranteed by the of investment guaranteed by the Canadian government that is going to be given to Ukraine, but eventually when the reparations gets paid by Russia, these guys are going to siphon off probably 10 billion or 20 billion or whatever it is. That Russia does not necessarily have money anymore, but these guys are grave robbers. You know, they kill people, they go in their wake and crying about the injustice done to them. They murder and genocide people. Next, they wail and cry about the injustices that has been done to them. Third, they capitalize on their heritage or in their inheritance and their whatever these guys have. You know, they steal and then they go dig up their graves and throw them out in the trash. That's what's going on now. Ukrainians, you do not need this investment funds and whatever it is. What this is very simple. It is a scam and a scheme for those investors who are brothers of Putin, who are brothers of Zelensky, who are brothers of Netanyahu and Ayatollah and Assad, and Trump and Xi Jinping of China, and so on and so forth. That's what it is, folks. Don't fall for it. Ukraine has natural resources. They eventually gonna come and try to scoop it up, just like they did the oil in the Arab Peninsula and oil in Iran, and now the entire business and job market in the US or in Western Europe for that matter. So Ukrainians, this is a ploy, this is a scam, this is a scheme to fleece you of your of the reparations paid to be paid by Russia. If Russia has the money, Russia doesn't have the money anymore to do so. So what they're trying to do again is like throw in $1 and then later steal instead of it siphon off something like 100 or 1,000, and then that dollar will eventually be taken back as well. Folks, these guys, Lizard Eye Cabal, like the Komodo dragons of New York, of Tehran, of Moscow, Tel Aviv, or here and there, right? These guys live for one thing and one thing alone. To siphon off dollars on the blood and burned flesh of other people. The last century, humanity lost hundreds of millions, and they were all behind it. To rule and to achieve rule and capitalize. That's all there is to it, folks. Those who really understand what I'm saying should not invest not one penny. If you have sympathy for Ukraine, donate to Ukraine directly to the people, but not to those investors. I'm going to give you an example of what these guys did not too long ago. If you remember the Malaysian airline that crashed in China Sea, South China Sea, or it was taking a flight from I think Malaysia to Hong Kong, and then supposedly it disappeared, and all kind of conspiracies were woven about it and so on. That's not the Malaysian Air MHS that crashed or was shut down by Russians in Donbass, over Donbass. Now, outside of the subject, this airplane was in fact shut down by China. Don't buy anything else, really. But the lesson of the story is very simple. The airplane disappeared over international water, right? And now, in terms of litigation and compensations and so on, this is a world court, right? Or it is some kind of arbitration between Malaysia and the families of the victims, or so on and so forth. But then you get some lizards or vermin in New York here who have nothing to do with it, and they set up a litigation case. They complain, they go to court and complain about the Malaysian government because they want money. Not that they have any victims on that airplane, not that they have anything to do with it outside of their jurisdiction, but these guys are willing to capitalize on, if one of them is able to sell his or her grandmother for $1 and turn their back and leave, they will do so. That's all there's to it. So there is a conspiracy going on now to strip Ukraine of its reparations from Russia, if there are any coming, right? And basically siphon off this reparation. That's how these guys think. You can blame me, you can blame whoever it is, you can blame whatever it is. It's them, folks. That's the Netanyahu's. Have a nice day, my friends, and be careful.